Welcome back to the Hermitcraft FTB server. As you can see here, I've made some more progress on the outer wall of the facility here. And that's because the quarry has finally gotten down to the level where it's starting to produce opal. And I've got the system in there set up to automatically process it. So that's good. And it shouldn't take too long before I at least have this part of the surface area of the surface level of the thing done. Although vertically, it's going all the way to the build limit. The inner walls on the subground, below ground part of it will also be lined in opal, but that's not as much of a priority as getting the surface done. Now, about these Certus quartz crops. First of all off, by looking here, I find I have 1196 Certus quartz essence that have come from those crops. And you can take these things and, like that, in a crafting table, craft. Actually, let's go ahead in there and look. I thought it was like that, but let's just do it here. Okay, it's like that. 8 of them make a Certus quartz ore. Get my coin back. And so I can take these and just shift click on that. And there's a whole bunch of Certus quartz that is ready to be hit with a fortune pick or dropped into a pulverizer. And made into usable Certus quartz, both the gem and the dust. So that's great. Now, as for the lily pads of fertility, I did a little bit of reading on those. They have a radius of, they work on a radius of 7 blocks. So I'm thinking what I need to do, if I take and put one of these things dead center, and then put another one, say, here in the corners all the way around, then I should pretty well effectively cover the entire farm. Plus, their area of effect includes 4 blocks up. So let me get some marble here. So if I were to build this place up thusly, and then right in there, starting there, just right directly above the dirt here, put another layer of dirt, these lily pads will include affecting the layer above. So I can have a 2-layer thing. There would just be room to put another planter right in here in the middle, and another harvester over there wouldn't be a problem. As for the fertilizer, I've had this one disconnected for a while. I don't think the MFR fertilizers are having any effect. So I might just go ahead and just leave this turned off, build the second layer, see how I go with the productivity of this thing. So what I'm going to do right now, let's see, let's find the center. It's going to be right there. Okay, so I'll take a bucket of water, drop that in here, drop a lily pad on it. Okay, and you notice how you can tell the area of effect. The ground around it becomes hydrated. You can see it turning darker. So, let's see, let me get some, heck, I'll just get some dirt. Make it pretty some other time. Well, I could use the, yeah, there we go. And now in each of these corners, do the same thing. and here. I think that's right. Yeah, okay. Now let's get up top side. Water that. Drop in a pad on it. Go ahead and torch that. Alright, now I can go ahead and fill this area back in. And you notice the farm is, whoops, forgot one. Okay, I've got buckets of water in the system. Okay. Now it's got the whole area covered. And the dirt is becoming hydrated. You can tell whether they're turning black or darker, excuse me. I can speed that along by hitting it with the watering can, and apparently the watering can supercharges these things. Okay, I think that's doing it. I don't know why I didn't replant that. Because if I go down there and look, I'm going to find that the planter has all the seeds. Yep, it does. But it tends to work a little on the slow side. I've noticed that it plants row at a time. So once it gets all this stuff caught up, it'll get over there and get to that. Let's see. Already have another 40 Certus quartz essence. This is great. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this thing upward for another level and see what we can do for our quartz production. Alright, it's been going a little while here, my little test of this second level. And if I come up a little bit here, we'll see that none of these blocks are hydrated. And that level is, okay, the dirt on that level is 3 blocks above the dirt on and the lily pads on the level below. Well within the 4-block range of vertical. And they're not having that effect. They're not having that effect at all. And I've also noticed something else. And that seeds are not being sent to this one, but they are being sent to this one. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is there. I know there's probably some kind of priority system or whatever, because this lower level of the farm is consistently kept full, and the upper level only gets filled when I take the time to manually fill the planter down below, which I don't want to do. So there's something there that I'm missing about how to keep that from being a problem. But what I'm going to end up doing here after seeing this is I'm going to get more lily pads of fertility and put one in the center, one on each of the four corners, like I've done down here. Well, all but one. I ran out of resources, but that's a self-correcting problem over time. That's not a big deal. And so now, for this one, which I have just now finished setting up, I have the import bus on that set to send glowstone seeds. And I noticed something. There's two different IDs for glowstone seeds, and for the Certus quartz, as a matter of fact, also. There's the one that you craft, and then there's the one that you get back from the plant. So I've got one of each in there. And now I'm going to take these seeds that I'm carrying and drop them back into the system. And it's begun to plant. The lily pads are there in 3 of the corners and the middle. And as soon as I have the resources, I'll put one on the other side and more on that level up there. And slowly they are hydrating the dirt, which is what's not happening up there. So they may have a vertical range of 4 blocks, but it doesn't seem to be working that way. But that's okay. I find actually that, seriously, 1 level of the Certus quartz does seem to be enough. And I'm sure that 1 level of the glowstone will be enough. And so we're getting some serious progress here. I have automatic Certus quartz dust or Certus quartz essence produced, which I can then set up some auto crafting to have it automatically made into blocks and then automatically sent to a pulverizer and a furnace. Well, a pulverizer, and do the same thing with the glowstone as needed. And so we're going to finally have 2 of the resources that have been such a pain to gather. Another one that I want to come up with a way to get more of, preferably automatically, preferably without spending lots of time in the nether, is nether quartz. And I'm going to look into that, and I'll be back. All right. Well, I have not yet found any way to do automated nether quartz, but I've been fine-tuning things here. I've, as you can see, taken away the second layer of the Certus quartz crop because A, it wasn't working for whatever reason, and B, honestly, this one I believe is going to be enough. If I look in here at the quartz things, I have over 1,700 Certus quartz essence, and I'm getting more all the time, as you can see, and that crafts into quartz, into quartz ore, which will render down into quartz and quartz dust. Now over here, my glowstone crop has been expanding, and that is going to eliminate my glowstone problems. The initial results from this crop is all going towards making more glowstone seeds. And as I get enough glowstone dust and essence to make the necessary seeds, this thing will get filled up and it'll be running fully automatic, full time, coming up with lots of glowstone. And it's doing pretty good. Now over here, I helped the situation a little bit by making a temporary thing here for the production of regular seeds, and of course the boatloads of wheat that go with it. This is a temporary setup. I'll be taking it down once I have more than enough seeds, which shouldn't take too long at the rate that thing is going. Let's see, with the quarry, there is one thing that I wanted to do with the quarry, and that is to let's see, this guy, the enchant mover. I need an advanced crafting table, assembly table, an anvil, a regular enchantment table, 4 lasers, and 4 redstone diamond chipsets. That and 320,000 MJ will get me the enchant mover, which, with a few other things, will allow me to enchant the quarry and other things as well. And so I'm going to spend a considerable amount of time coming up with these things. These things are all going to take a fair amount of time to make. The diamond chipsets are going to take a reasonable amount of time to make. This thing itself, with that much MJ required, is going to take a long time to make. So I'm going to work on that between this episode and next. And next time we'll get that quarry enchanted so that it can, well, hopefully to include a silk touch enchant so that it can silk touch the ores and so on. But that's going to be then, because it's already getting late today. I've already put in a lot more time than I anticipated on this, but it's proving to be worth it. There's one thing I want to take care of right now, because I've noticed, look in here, I have 459,000 dirt, and I have 1.5 million cobblestone. As you can see, I did have a, you know what, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that. Go ahead and make another one. The trash item. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, this is a trash can. Anything you put in it, deleted from the world. Okay, so I'm going to set them up over here. Let's see, I need a couple of precision export buses, some ME cable. Let's go ahead and craft another stack of that stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and, for the time being, I can fix it later. And besides which, I consider everything in this base to be temporary. So it's okay if it looks like crap. Alright. Alright, now this one, let's see, let's get some samples. I need a couple of level emitters too. Just realized that. Alright, 2 level emitters. Let's wrench those to downward. And now we'll set them. Redstone signal. Emit when levels are below or equal to, say, 100,000 cobblestone or 100,000 dirt. Yeah, if the levels are above or equal to the limit, emit a redstone signal. Oh, those aren't hooked up yet. No wonder they're not reading anything right. Alright. Some ME cable. Alright, now they're both lit up like they should be.
And here, active with signal, stack at a time, dirt. Active wood signal, stack at a time, cobble. And the dirt amount is going down, the cobble amount is going down, and that's good, because 1.5 million cobble and almost 500,000 dirt and growing fast. That's why I've got so many red lights. So this will limit how much of that stuff I bother to keep. As a matter of fact, I ought to go out there and turn off the industrial fertilizer, because I'm getting to the point where I really have too much of that. So I'm just going to break that pipe. For the time being, that will do the trick. The thing up there will be full of it, but literally full of it. Let's turn power off on that too. And it'll just sit there and wait until I'm ready to need it again, or I hook up some automation for it. Probably until I hook up some automation, which I will get around to, but I don't think automating crap is a really high priority. I have the hardest time landing on these platforms, or pillars. There we go. Okay. And as you can see, we got some more glowstone harvesting. This arrangement with one in the middle and one on each corner seems to do it pretty good. I may change that or try different arrangements and whatnot, but so far this is working pretty good. So I'm not going to complain. Another thing I need to do is to, once I get lots of this Certus quartz ore, is setting up to auto fortune stuff. And I think I've got an idea for a way to do that, but that and other things are going to happen next episode. I realize this one is kind of on the short side, but I've been working at this to one degree or another for most of the day. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here. Good night.